Good morning, everyone. I'm going to request that everyone remains on mute for this session. So please, can you make sure that your mics are all muted so that we do not have disturbance? And then any questions we can keep for right at the end, or preferably if you can reach out to me after the webinar if you have any questions, because we have quite a bit to cover. And maybe that would be a better way for us to engage personally as well. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to give you all a product update on Norwegian Cruise Line. The session is recorded. So if any of your colleagues or if you'd like to refer back to this session, it will be sent through to you via recording link as well as a transcript, which you can refer back to. Just to reiterate again, please make sure you are muted so that we don't have any disturbances. I'm going to give it another, say, 3 or 4 minutes because there are still quite a bit of people joining. And then as soon as we've got a decent number of guests on here already, I think we've already got about 41, then we can start. Okay. In the meantime, while we're actually waiting, can everyone just confirm that they can hear me clearly? The sound is good, so that you can just put it in the chat box that the sound is fine, or even just a thumbs up. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Ruan. Thanks, guys. Okay, let's just give it 1 more minute. I don't also want to waste too much time because, like I said, we've got quite a bit to cover. But this is our first webinar with KATA and with all of you, of course. So there'll be plenty more to come in the coming months. And I'm sure we'll get to know each other quite closely in the coming months. While we're waiting, also, I know that I've asked if you can all hear me clearly. Can you all confirm that you can see the presentation screen? It should have the big ship in the Greek Isles. Is that the screen that you all see? Okay, let's not waste any further time. So good morning, my name is Nirosha Sidat. I'm the country manager for Africa. I am based in Johannesburg, South Africa, so quite down far away from you guys, but I am now looking after the Kenyan market, and we have seen consistent growth in this region. In fact, really, really good growth from a cruise perspective. We have a lot of Kenyans traveling on our cruise product in the last, say, 2 or 3 years now. And this is the exact reason why I decided to join KATA and, of course, meet all of you and help you grow the cruise business in your market. So just a little bit of a background on Norwegian Cruise Line. So we are an American cruise line. Our head office is based, we have 2 head offices. One's based in the UK and one's based in Miami. I fall under the UK office. And we have a call center based in the UK. So for all of you that need any assistance, that's who you will go through to. You will go through to our call center in the UK. Unfortunately, we don't have local Kenya phone numbers as yet, but it is something that we are working on. I'm not sure what is going to be cheaper for you guys to phone because we have a South Africa phone number. So I'm not sure if South Africa dialing rates are cheaper or if UK dialing rates are cheaper. But that's a little bit of an exercise that we're busy working on. But I'm sure in the very short interim, we will have a Kenya phone number that you guys can phone on so that you do have local dialing rates when you do speak to our teams in the UK. We do not work on email. It is an American style cruise line. And I know the African market as well as the South African market, we are very used to working on email, where we just send through an inquiry and the team then responds via email. We don't work like that. The way our call center works is it's an outbound call center, and you guys would have to then phone through, get a quote, and then the quote gets given to you telephonically. If you do want anything in writing, we have a wholesale partner that is based in South Africa. They are called White Star Cruise and Travel. They are also members of KATA. We work very closely with them, and they are our wholesale partner where you can send through an email. They'll do the quote for you. They'll send you the quote, and you still earn your full commission. So there are options for you available. But what I'll do is at the end of the webinar, I've got everyone's email addresses. I will send through all the operational updates, who to contact, where to go, and that type of thing. So you're not left in the dark. But what we're going to do today is we're going to, sorry, just give me 1 second. I have Felix from KATA who's struggling to get into the webinar. Let's see. Did any of you have issues joining the webinar? Because he's saying he is struggling. Sorry about this. I'm just giving him the link. Apologies, guys. Okay, while I'm waiting for Felix to figure out his login, yeah, so there's definitely ways to contact NCL and to sell our product. Sure, I'm not sure why he's saying they can't join. I mean, we have 52 people on here. I'm not going to waste too much time with Felix. I know he can't join, but I don't want to keep you guys waiting. So anyway, without further ado, let's kick off with the webinar. And then, like I said, I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to catch up in the coming weeks and months with regards to growing the product in your market. So let's start with the video. So that little bit of a video just gave you an overview or an idea of what NCL is all about. We are an international cruise line. I'd say we're about a 4.5-star cruise rating. You'll see in today's webinar all the different types of facilities that we have on board our ships, as well as the destinations that we visit. And of course, we are definitely a cruise company to be reckoned with. We do believe that we are the perfect product for the Kenyan market. Like I said, we are definitely, growing rapidly in your market, mainly groups, and you guys would know this better than I do. We mainly get group bookings from your region, but it is still growing on a rapid basis. So what I wanted to tell you today is, sorry, so just please give me 1 second. I just need to sort out Felix here quickly. Okay, so who are our biggest competitors? So yes, there's plenty of other cruise lines in the industry, but they're not our competitors. Our current competitors are the land-based resorts. And this slide just basically tells you the reason why we think a cruise holiday is so much better than a land-based resort holiday. And with that, we've actually given a lot of comparisons to agents, advising them or showing them the exact price differences between a cruise holiday and a land holiday. You know, if you're doing a land holiday, you have to then arrange flights, which obviously you have to do with the cruise as well. But then you have to arrange accommodation, meals, transfers, everything. You know, there's not a lot that is included. Whereas on a cruise holiday, every single thing is included, your meals, your transfers, waking up in a new destination every day. Sometimes you're not even just waking up in a new port every day, you're even waking up in a new city, even a new country every single day. The different types of dining options, and we're going to go through all of that today. I mean, food is endless on a cruise holiday. We have something called Free at Sea, which makes Norwegian Cruise Line all inclusive. And that makes a big difference for your guests when they sail on our cruise products. The entertainment, the award-winning shows, you know, the drinks packages that's included. The fact that if the weather is bad, all the captain does is he reroutes the ship, and you know we go into different destinations. If there's political unrest, we make sure that we don't take our guests into cities or countries where you know they're unsafe. The fact that we have all these incredible activities like the rock climbing walls, the water parks, the laser tags, but we've also got low-key entertainment and activities as well. Whereas in a land-based resort, if we just compare what I've just said to a land-based resort, you have either your garden-facing room or your sea-facing room, or you have your suite room. There's no options for interleading cabins across from each other. There's so many different types of staterooms available on a cruise holiday, and I'll show you the different types of options when we get to that slide. If you're in a land-based resort, it's one destination. For example, I'm not sure how big the Kenyan market is in the Indian Ocean islands, but South Africans are massive on Mauritius, Seychelles, Maldives, Zanzibar. And those are absolutely beautiful. However, if the weather is bad, I mean, I stayed in Trobeach, which is a Mauritius island, for 7 days. And for 3 days it rained. And yes, there's maybe some small little games room that you can go into and go and play some board games and that type of thing. But there isn't really much to do if the weather is bad. You're limited with different types of dinings. You know, it's normally just a buffet and one main restaurant at the resort. Whereas on a cruise holiday, there's about 20 restaurants on board a cruise ship. The fact that if the weather is bad, like I've just said, now you're stuck in your room. You have the same view every morning. The entertainment is limited. Yes, they sometimes have half board and full board, and sometimes they include a full beverage package. But even if you compare our beverage package to the ones that's offered in a land-based resort, we offer so much more. And this is just, I'm just talking about land-based resorts, but can you imagine, and when you guys are doing day-by-day itineraries, booking a hotel in Spain, and then a hotel in Italy, and then a hotel in France, because clients want to travel throughout Europe, and then you need to do the trains or flights, or it's just a nightmare. Cruising is a no-brainer. It makes so much sense to get your guests on board our cruise ships. We are a cruise line to be reckoned with. We've won a good couple of awards year over year. And, you know, this is something that happens continuously. So some of these awards are from 2024 and 2025. So world's leading cruise line 9 years in a row, Europe's leading cruise line 17 years in a row, Caribbean's leading cruise line 13 years in a row, North America 10 years in a row, Middle East 3 years in a row. So we definitely are one of those cruise lines that guests absolutely love, and they tend to come back over and over and over again. And this is recognition from the World Travel Award, so it's quite a high status. So what do we pride ourselves in? Norwegian Cruise Line, we refer to our cruise product as freestyle cruising. And what that means is we offer freedom and flexibility. So we have a contemporary fleet, and I'm going to show you the fleet shortly. We have 21 ships with the ship that we've actually just took ownership of this week. It's called the Norwegian Luna. So in our fleet, existing fleet, we have 21 ships, ranging from big ships to smaller ships. And we'll go through that shortly. But the advantage of cruising is you unpack once, you wake up in a new city or like I said, country every single day. We cover the globe. We have more port days and less sea days, just giving our guests the even choice of visiting the cities of the countries or cities that they visit, as well as exploring the ship. We have something called Free at Sea, which makes us all inclusive, and we have award-winning entertainment. What does freedom and flexibility mean? Um, Breaking some myths about cruising is boring. There's a strict dress code. There's a specific time that you need to dine. Yes, those did exist, and I think they do still exist on some of our competitive cruise lines. But with us, you can dress the way you feel. Really, honestly, it's country club casual. You can see from that image over there, that's how our guests dress on board an NCL cruise. We have up to 20 dining options, and we have no strict dining times. Guests can dine when they want. I know on a lot of the competitor cruise lines, you have to either dine at 6:30 or 9 p.m., which kind of spoils it for our guests, because if that is the options, imagine you in Barcelona. You only need to be back on the ship at 7:30 in the evening, and your dining slot is at 6:30. You still have to rush back to the ship. Most guests like to, freshen up and shower before they actually go for dinner. It just doesn't make sense. In Europe, in the summer months, the sun only sets at about 9 p.m. in the evening, so you really don't want that early dining slot. Our guests have the choice, and like I said, there's many dining options for them to explore when they're on board our ships. And then, of course, we have many different types of stateroom options to suit all guests, and we'll also go through that when we get to the cabins. Who is NCL for? For everyone. We literally see to every single demographic, from families, couples, groups. Like I said, groups is really big within the Kenyan market, as well as solo travelers. We are massive on couples. We tend to see a big couples demographic joining an NCL cruise. And I think the reason for this is that we have the facilities that's very well suited for couples. So we have a lot of honeymooners. We have a lot of couples celebrating, anniversaries. They love coming on board our ships. Something for you to know, a little bit of a key selling point, is that a lot of other cruise lines, the competitors out there, hardly have two-seater dining tables. You'll find on some of the other American cruise lines, they have 4, 6, and 8-seaters, and it's very difficult to get a two-seater table. Whereas on NCL, we actually cater for a lot of couples. So we have a lot of two-seater dining tables in all of our restaurants. Then we have what we call Spice H2O, which is an adult-only venue. During the day, it's a relaxation area, exactly like how that picture looks. In the evening, it turns into a night entertainment, either a dance club, or sometimes they might have a low-key show there as well. Then, of course, we have our spa facilities, perfect for couples, as well as the Vibe Beach Club, which is an adults-only area as well. It's got these cabanas split all around or spread all around this area, as well as a bar situated in this area and hot tubs. So you don't have any kids running around in this area specifically. Then, of course, we have a massive family market, especially in the summer months of the destinations that you are visiting, or in the school holiday months. So we have family-friendly accommodation. We have 2-bedroom family suites. We have rooms that's interleading. We have areas where we can close off 3 or 4 suites at a time. So there's a lot of different types of family accommodation. All of our rooms take from 4 guests and above. And then, of course, we have the different types of water parks. We have youth programs taking from 3 years right up to 17 years. And we split the ages of the kids' programs into their age groups so that they are, sharing space with like-minded kids of their age. There's activities suited to those age groups. If they're younger ones, then they have, the like painting and finger dough and that type of thing, the real games that would suit toddlers. And then the older ones maybe do roller skating or dance games and that type of thing. And then the older ones, of course, there's different activities for them as well. Then we also have what we call our Galaxy Pavilion, or even our games rooms, that's got these 3D gaming facilities for the older kids. And then, of course, your normal what do you call those, claw grabbing games, and our arcade games and that type of thing. So there's a lot of facilities on board for the family market as well. Solo travelers is massive on NCL. We are growing quite rapidly within this space, and I think that's also coming from it's a global thing. It's not a South African thing or an African thing. We cater now for solo travelers much better than any other land-based resort or competitor cruise line, because what we've introduced is studio cabins or solo cabins, where guests now have the option of booking these staterooms and they don't have to pay a single supplement. Normally on another cruise line, if you're a solo passenger booking a cabin, you have to pay the full double cabin price. But on NCL, we've now created rates specifically for these cabins. Just going into these ones, for example, this one over here is an inside cabin. It's your typical bachelor pad with a 3/4 bed, and then it's got the shower and the bathroom in the room. So this is like the toilet, this is the shower, this is the dressing table, and this is like a little cupboard. It's perfect for a single person wanting to go on a cruise. But this type of stateroom has done so well with NCL, we decided now to roll it out to balconies as well. And you can have a look at this image. It's quite a big room for a solo person. It works extremely well for groups of singles. We get this a lot, mainly ladies, funny enough. So you'll always find a group of ladies wanting to travel and explore the world. And in the past, they had to share rooms. Now they have the option of booking a solo cabin. The advantage of this solo cabins, or what we call studio cabins, is it's key card access only into this area where all the solos are situated. And then they have access to what we call a solo lounge. This is an image here and here. And in this area, they make friends. You see them making dinner reservations. You see them making shore excursions, bookings together. And it's just a nice way to make solo travelers feel engaged. Obviously, they don't need to come to these areas. It's just an added value that Norwegian Cruise Line has introduced, but it works extremely well for the solo guests. So we pride ourselves in food and beverage. We are part of a bigger conglomerate. So we own Region 7 Seas, Oceania Cruises, and Norwegian Cruise Line. And Region 7 Seas is our ultra luxury product. Oceania's premium luxury. And then we have Norwegian Cruise Line, which is our contemporary product. But what we tend to do is we bring a lot of those luxury elements onto our products, and that's why we win awards for amazing food and our beverage package and that type of thing, because we bring a lot of those touches onto the contemporary product. So we have numerous restaurants and dining options available, up to 22 bars and lounges as well on board our ships. We offer live music, themed parties, casinos, deck parties. So the entertainment on board our ships is just unbelievable. And we are always making the news for our entertainment. This image on the slide over here is of Prince. It's a rendition of Prince. So this is our latest theatre show that we're offering on our newest ship. But we have shows like Burn the Floor, Rock of Ages, Donna Summer, Beetlejuice. There's just so much entertainment, especially when it comes to award-winning theatre shows, that it does make a massive difference to the guest experience. Then we also have adrenaline types of activities. This image over here is of a 3-story go-kart racetrack, and it's not these little mini go-karts, it's the proper go-kart experience. And we also have aqua parks. I spoke about the 3D gaming pavilion. we have spas, we have fitness centers, we have youth programs, you name it. We also have our own private islands like many other cruise lines. And we have recently, and I'll show you a video shortly of the one private island that we have, which is called Great Stirrup Cay, and we've now upgraded that island, and you can have an amazing experience in this island. I don't want to talk too much about it because I have a beautiful video to show you about it. So this is our fleet. Like I said, we have 21 ships in our fleet. This one over here, the Luna, we have literally just signed ownership of it as of day before yesterday. So it was over the weekend. And if you follow our news on LinkedIn or even our website or social media, you'll see that we've now taken ownership of the Norwegian Luna. It is one of the ships that's now going slightly bigger again. I think the ship takes, I just need to check my numbers, but it's about 4,000 passengers. It is going to do a very short stint in Europe while it's just taking, we obviously have to take it over the transatlantic cruise, and then it will be stationed in the Caribbean. But this is one of our largest ships and the newest right now. Then we have the Aqua that launched last year this time. Viva, Prima, Encore, Bliss, Joy, Escape, Getaway, and Breakaway. These are all of our larger ships. The reason why they're the larger ships is it caters for a different market. It caters for those guests that want, all the wow facilities on board the ships. You'll find the fastest water slide on our ships, the aqua coasters, the go-kart racetracks, the rock climbing walls, the gaming theaters and arcades. There's just so much to do on these ships. I always say that these ships cater for a demographic that loves these kind of adrenaline type of activities, as well as the family market. And the reason why I say caters for the family market is, of course, it got the facilities that suited to kids. I say for kids, but I mostly see adults on all these activities. So yes, it definitely covers all demographics. Another thing to note with these ships, they take between 4,000, 4,500 passengers, but they also call into the largest cities and ports. So you'll find it goes into your Miamis, into your Barcelonas, into your Copenhagens, all the bigger cities these ships can obviously pull into because they have proper cruise terminals where they can actually dock the actual ship. Then we also have a smaller fleet, which take about 2,000, 2,500 passengers. These are slightly more catered to your guests that want to go off the beaten path, where you might not find many of the family markets on these specific ships. And these will go more into your Panama canals, into the Bahamas, Greek Isles, Asia's, Africa's, and that it obviously makes sense because they are smaller, they can go slightly off the beaten path. Every single ship caters for everyone. It's not that this one caters for the family market and this one doesn't. It just depends on what your guests are looking for. So make sure when you are selling a cruise, have a look at the ship, share the ship details with your guests, quantify the clients, ask the right questions, so that you are not having a guest that's going onto a ship like for example, the Spirit or the Sky, and they're taking a whole lot of kids and they want the racetracks and they want the rock climbing walls and the water parks, because you're going to obviously have a guest that's upset, or vice versa. If you have a guest that doesn't want all of that, that just wants to go and relax on a cruise and wants to go more off the beaten path. So make sure you're talking to your guests and asking the right questions. I'll also give you some ideas of the types of questions that you need to ask, so that you are making sure that you are putting your guests on the right fleet. A little bit of a fun fact about our ships is that every single time we launch a new ship into our fleet, we get an artist in to design the hull of the ship. So you can have a look at all of our ships have these beautiful paintings at the bottom of the ships. And that is actually a nice story. We get someone that's not recognized or doesn't have an artistic footprint yet, someone that's maybe new, and we give them the opportunity to design the hull of the ship, and then they get to sell off those renderings to give themselves a footprint. So for every single ship, we've always had male artists, And for the last two ships now with the Aqua and the Luna, it's our first two female artists. So that's also quite a nice of a fun fact story as well. So moving on to what we call our best value package at sea, which is called Free at Sea. This is a promotion that we started about, let's say about 7, 8 years ago. And it used to be something that we used to just throw in here and there. But this promotion worked so well in the market that made us so competitive amongst other cruise lines. I know they've all tried to beat us or to match our Free at Sea package, but no one's managed to get it right as yet. And this is what sets us apart, is that we now include this 100%. Please can I ask you to mute yourself so that we don't have any background noise? So this Free at Sea package, let me just see if I can mute whoever's unmuted there. Okay, there we go. So this promotion or value added package now makes us all inclusive. There is a choice for guests not to choose this Free at Sea package, but then when they're on board, they have to purchase all these things individually, which makes it so much more expensive. It actually makes so much sense for our guests to take the Free at Sea package up front, and when they do take it, they at the end of the cruise, there's no bill that they need to pay. It just makes so much sense. So what the Free at Sea package includes is a premium beverage package, Wi-Fi minutes, specialty dining, and shore excursions credit. Over and above this, on select sailings, we even have third and fourth sail free, which we use for kids sail free, or when it's 4 people sharing a cabin, even if it's 4 adults, the third and fourth guest only pay taxes and gratuities. Again, that makes it a very, very strong offer. I've got this infographic for all of you, which you can download. I'll actually share it with KATA as well, so they can share it with you guys. Please, can you mute yourself? Sorry, there's background noise and it's just causing a little bit of distortion. There we go. So yeah, going into the premium beverage package, as you can see, it includes everything. When your guests are on board, it's unlimited drinks. It includes gratuities. It's your gins, it's your vodkas, your brandies, your whiskeys, your tequilas, your wines, your beers, sodas, juices, tonics, you name it. It's all included in this premium beverage package, and it's unlimited beverages. So the beverage package is an extremely strong beverage package. Our competitors have tried to match this, but unfortunately, no one's managed to come close. Well, fortunately for us. But yeah, it's a really, really good offer. And then over and above that, we have specialty dining, which is our over and above our complimentary dining options. We have restaurants where guests normally use for special occasions, or just want an elevated dining experience. They go to these restaurants. Now we've included 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on the number of nights that the guest is sailing on. And then we've also got shore excursions credit. So we give our guests $50 excursions credit for every port that they visit. It is per cabin, so it's not per person, but it is still a very, very strong offer. And then we've also got, just going back here, we've got Wi-Fi minutes. So we offer 150 minutes for guest 1 and guest 2. And they can, of course, just send a message home to say, hey, I've arrived in Barcelona today. I'm on board Norwegian Luna. I'm safe, type of thing. So it's a really, really strong offer. We will, when we do one of our coming sessions, when we do the system training, I'll show you how to add that into the booking. Complimentary dining options, we have many. I'd say on every single one of our ships, there's about 8 or 9 complimentary dining options. So we have the 3 a la carte restaurants, up to 3 a la carte restaurants on board our ships. And these are, where they serve your 3 to 4 course meals. Then we have what we call indulge food hall. This is a really nice concept, a concept that NCL has introduced, with food trucks situated all around the indulge food hall. And then there's an iPad on the tables where guests can order off all the different food trucks. This is just one very small corner that it's showing, but it's got food trucks situated all around this area. And it's Asian, it's Indian, it's Chinese, it's Mexican, it's English food. There's so many different food trucks options, and the guests get to order off the iPad for these dining options. Then on board of our ships, we also have a 24-hour restaurant, and this restaurant then opens throughout the day, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then snacks in between. So for our late night party goers, our casino goers, our club goers, or our bar hoppers, they land up here. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat now. They land up here, and then they love this restaurant because it serves, fish and chips, burgers, sandwiches, wings, you name it. It's all served at this restaurant, and it's open 24 hours. Then we have our Surfside Cafe, which is our buffet restaurant on board of our ships, also serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All of these restaurants serve, sorry, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, moving on. Then we have our specialty dining restaurants. So over and above this, our complimentary restaurants, we have the specialty restaurants, and these are really, really nice, elevated, dining experiences. So just giving you examples of some of them, teppanyaki is our Japanese style restaurant where we have a chef cooking around a grill. I think the grill seats about 9 to 10 people. It's really, really a fun dining experience where the chefs are throwing eggs in the air and catching it in their hats, and they're singing and they're chopping and just entertaining guests. We really love this for groups specifically because sometimes we book out this restaurant for groups, and it's just an elevated dining experience. Then we have Palomar, which is your seafood restaurant. We have Sukutai, which is your Thai restaurant. We have Le Bistro, which is your French restaurant. Cagney's is really popular with us. It's your, I'd say, chic steakhouse. We have Onda by Scappetta, which is your Italian restaurant, but these are just some of them. We have so many others. So what NCL has done is they did a very clever thing by including the specialty dining on board our ships, because this is an elevated dining experience, but guests sometimes want to experience something different over and above what we're offering on the complimentary side. But we noticed that not all of our, can someone just mute themselves there, please? Sorry. We've noticed that not a lot of these restaurants were filling up because guests were like, why would we go and spend $20 to go and dine at this restaurant, or 40 or 60 or $80 when we have complimentary dining options? And what we decided to do is we decided to throw in 1, 2, 3, or 4 of these. And now that guests started experiencing these restaurants, they actually really loved the dining experience, and now they're willing to spend money on it. So it's obviously value add. It's not compulsory for them to go and dine at these restaurants. There are still many other complimentary restaurants, but it's just a nice value add for them to go and explore and enjoy. Then on board, I think I explained about the award-winning entertainment. We love that. The aqua parks, every single one of our ships have a spa facility as well as a fitness center. The fitness center is complimentary unless they are doing any special classes like Pilates or yoga or those types of things. But the general gym area is complimentary. We have many bars and lounges. Here it says up to 22 of these spread around the ships. I love these bars and lounges because what it does, it creates a nice flow throughout our ship, because every single one of these areas also have, for example, at the cigar lounge, there'll be a pianist, or at the champagne bar, there's a lady singing, or at the whiskey bar, there's a mixologist throwing glasses up in the air. And, there's also those low-key entertainment right spread throughout the ship, especially during the evening, where some guests are in the theater, some guests are at the casino, and then some guests are spread around these bars and lounges as well. So there's a lot of onboard entertainment for all guests. I think we went through this already. So going to our staterooms, yes, we have different types of staterooms suiting all guests, from your solo travelers to your families to your couples, you name it. We've got the different types of staterooms. So just running through some of them, we've gone through the studio cabins. This is a typical inside cabin over here in the middle of the slide here. This has no view. Then we have an ocean view. It's got a window. We've got, this is a studio cabin, so just ignore that. And then this is our typical penthouse suite. This is a spa balcony suite. Now, our balcony cabin is very similar. It looks exactly the same. Only thing is it doesn't have a spa hot tub in our standard balcony cabins. Then over and above our standard cabins, we've also got the Haven. I think I have a short video to show you as well about the Haven. So the Haven is where we keep our suites. So we call it a ship within a ship concept. We keep all our suites separated from the rest of the ship. And our Haven guests get butler service, they get exclusive amenities, they get their own restaurant, they get their own guest services, they get their own sun deck and pool deck area, they get their own bar area. So they're really made to feel really special. On some of our newer ships, they even only have Haven lifts going to the Haven areas. Obviously, on the older ships, it was built slightly differently. But the Haven guests get to feel really, really exclusive. Of course, they're making these types of facilities available to them because they are spending much more than our regular staterooms. But they also get what we call, like I said earlier, ship within a ship concept where no one can access the Haven area. This is for them only. It's key card access, but they get to have the best of both worlds. They get all the facilities that the rest of the ship has, and when they want to retreat back to their private area, they can do that as well. I have a very short video to show you on the Haven. So that was just to give you an idea of what the Haven is all about. So like I said, we cover the globe. We have 21 ships visiting many, many destinations. Our top selling destinations for our market is definitely Europe and the Mediterranean. So the Greek Isles is really popular. And when we talk about the Greek Isles, we have cruises from Venice to Venice. We have cruises from Athens to Athens. These are top, we even have Athens to Istanbul. So within our Greek Isles products, we cover a lot of the typical Greek Isles cities like your Mykonos, your Santorini, your Katakolon, your Crete. And then sometimes we include a little bit of the Dalmatian coast, where we'll maybe include a little bit of Croatia. We also include a little bit of Turkey. So just depending on the type of itinerary, there's many Greek Isles options for your guests. The Mediterranean, we have, this is probably our most popular destination for the Kenyan market, where we have a lot of guests booking our 7-night Barcelona to Rome or Rome to Barcelona cruise on board the Norwegian Epic this year. And that does, your famous Florence, Pisa, Rome, Naples, Capri, that type of itinerary covering Spain, France, and Italy all in one itinerary, which makes sense, especially for a new to cruise client. Then we have the Northern Europe side of the world, where we do a lot of Norway, Sweden, a lot of the Baltic side as well. Unfortunately, obviously now we're not doing Russia anymore, but we still do like Tallinn, Estonia, that route. And we even go quite far up in Norway. We go right to the top. We even go to Bergen and Tromsø, which obviously we only sail in the summer months, but we've had guests been lucky enough to explore and to see the Northern Lights as well. Even though that's not something we really punt, it is possible. Alaska's always been really popular for us. So we have cruises doing Seattle to Seattle, Vancouver to Vancouver, Vancouver to Seward, or Seward to Vancouver. And with Alaska, we can even add on what we call a cruise tour product, where they can add on the national parks before or after the cruise. So we do Denali National Park, we do Fairbanks. Please, can you mute yourself? Sorry. And then we also have the Rocky Mountaineer for guests that's doing their cruises from Vancouver, which is also really, really popular. Asia has become a new top selling destination globally. It's always been, but now Japan is trending. So we have really, really good cruises doing the Japan region, the Chinese region. We also do Malaysia. We do Vietnam. So there's a lot of Asian itineraries as well, really, really popular for both South African and Kenyan markets. The Caribbean's always been extremely popular. So we have cruises from Miami to Miami, from Port Canaveral, which is the port in Orlando. This is also really popular because guests love doing Disney combined with a cruise. And then we also have cruises from New York, from the port in Jersey as well. We have cruises from Galveston in Texas. So there's a lot of different Caribbean cruises covering Eastern and Western Caribbean as well. So those are our some of our top selling destinations. Obviously, we do Australia, we do South America. If you looked at the slide over here, you can see we cover the globe. There's no destination that we don't cover. Hawaii is really popular. Um, Cruises from Southampton. We go all the way up to Reykjavik in Iceland. Bapiti, the Panama Canal, Honolulu, you name it. We literally, as you can see from this, we cover the globe. A lot of people see our cruises or our name of our company and they see Norwegian Cruise Line and they think, okay, we only do Norway. The original owners were Norwegian and they kept the name Norwegian Cruise Line, but we are an American company, massive ships with all the wow facilities, as you've seen earlier, and we sail throughout the world. So when you have guests wanting to travel, please consider a cruise and look at the different types of itineraries and options we have for our product. The Aura is our new ship that we are launching next year. So every single year for the next, I think they said in the next 15 years, we have a new ship launching every single year. I think I have a video just to show you how cruising is evolving and how much bigger and better the ships are getting and how it's moving with the modern times and exactly what we'd like to see out there. Have a look at this. How brilliant is that? So I've just showed you exactly what cruising is all about and ended it off with that video just to show you every single thing that I've spoken about, from the entertainment to the different types of rooms, all the facilities on board our ships. And it's just getting better and better as the years are going. So if you haven't yet booked your first cruise, now's the time. Earlier, I spoke about our island that we have out in the Bahamas, and this is it. It's called Great Stirrup Cay. So our ships now come and they dock into this island. It used to be a very small island, and now we've just made it bigger and better with this water park and the cabanas and the bar areas and the kiddies crazy slide facilities, all the adrenaline types of activities. It's just a beautiful relaxation island. I also have some images to show you. There's obviously the water slides, the cabanas. You can see from there, there's a relaxation pool area as well as the kiddies pool area. There's just so much to do. And then what happens at these islands? So the minute the ship docks here, your guests go and explore the island for the day and they come back onto the ship and then we carry on sailing again. This is it. So that's just one of the images, I mean, the videos of the new island. Well, it's not a new island. We've always had it. It's just we've upgraded it now. I hope that kind of gave you a good overview on the product and the brand. Please play around on our website. There's so many different videos that you can have a look at, the different types of itineraries. I just want to run quickly through some of the resources we have available to travel agents. We have about 9 minutes left. So my job in the market in Africa is to make sure that our travel agent partners are well resourced and that it is easy to sell an NCL cruise. So what we do is we create a lot of different content, merch, toolkits, images, brochures, whatever we can possibly give you guys as travel agent partners to make it easy to sell our products. So what we do is we have a system called Norwegian Central, which is a travel agent, let me just go into that, which is a travel agent system, and you'll all have access to it. Not every single one will we give access, because what we do with Norwegian Central is we can give you all access to the marketing headquarters, but we don't give everyone access to the booking tool unless we see that there is potential within your travel agency. So for the short interim, if you are new to cruising, we will give you access to the marketing tools. But if you have any quote requests or inquiries, we will then refer you to White Star Cruise and Travel, because they are the partners as part of KATA that will be able to service you. But obviously, if you are an existing cruise agency, we will then give you full access to the full portal to make bookings and that type of thing. So within the portal, you will find flyers, and we do a lot of editable content where you can download the flyer, pop on your logo, pop on your own contact details to send out to your databases. We have images which you can use on your social media. We have a video library you can use on your social media. I also have a social media page that's only for travel agents. I have no consumers on there. I'll give you the details shortly. And there you can also take the content of my social media to use on your own as well. We are one of the cruise lines that has something called no NCFs. NCFs is what we call a non-commissionable cruise fare. It makes it massively different for travel agents now can earn more commission on our products. Our standard commission across the board is 12%. There's no competition when it comes to commission. No one gets 15 or 20 or 18. Everyone gets the exact same commission, and everyone gets the exact same prices. So if you're coming through to me, or if you're going through to White Star or anyone else, you should be getting the exact same prices. Our current promotion is 50% off plus free at sea, which I explained to you earlier about. So it's a really, really strong offer. I was told yesterday that the 50% offer is most likely going to expire on the 31st of March, and we're most likely going to go down in discount, but obviously that would only be confirmed closer to the time. But right now we have a very strong offer in the market, which is 50% off all of our cruises. Then over and above everything that I've just shared with you today, we have a university platform. What this actually is a training platform for travel agents only. It's not for consumers. So we will give you all access to it. You'll have to register to get access. And then you will learn everything about NCL. So over and above my webinar that I've just done now, you'll learn everything NCL, from our different types of staterooms to our facilities on board, to our dining packages, our beverage packages, what's included, what's not included, every single thing that you need to know about NCL. The courses are very short. They're about 10 to 15 minutes to do a course. You can do it as and when you can. It never expires. You can do one today, one next week, as long as you do them whenever you can. And then what happens is, once you do these courses, you start getting credits for doing all these courses. So if you do the first one, you'll get an associate degree, and that will give you 15% off your own personal cruise. Then you can do a bachelor's, a master's, and even a PhD. And this gives you a discount ranging between 15 and 30% off your own cruise. So when you guys come through to me and say, hi, Nirosha, I'd love to do an NCL cruise. I love the product. I'd like to explore it on my own. What is the travel agent rate? I don't determine it, you do. And the only way we give travel agent discounts is if you've done these courses. So you determine your own discount off your own personal cruises. Another strong selling point is these discounts are combinable with whatever the current offer is in the market. So right now we have 50% off. Just say, for example, you've done all the courses and you have 30% off, you're getting almost 80% off all your cruises, off your total price. Obviously, there's taxes and gratuities and that, but off the actual voyage fare, the discount is really, really strong. Then we have our travel agent booking engine. Like I said, we don't give this to every single travel partner. It depends on how well your business is when it comes to cruising, how knowledgeable you are, if you've already sold cruises. So we do ask for a proposal before we give anyone access to this. And then, like I said, my job is to make sure that you are successful. So we have our partners first commitment, making sure you have all the tools, you have access to the webinars like we've just done now. We don't offer, we don't charge any booking fees. There's no credit card fees. Our guests can pay with a credit card in the system. You guys will take the payment, process it in the system. There's no additional fees that we charge. We offer promotional toolkits, giving you all the details to share with your guests as well. And that's about it. I have my own Facebook page. Like I said, it's Nirosha NCL Sidat. I have Facebook and Instagram. Add me as a friend, download my content. I post 3 times a week. You can copy that content. Don't share mine because your guests will see my name and then they'll contact me. Copy it and paste it onto your own social media, grow your footprint, and make sure that you are succeeding with selling an NCL cruise. And I hope that that gave you a good overview on our product and that you understand where we fit in the market, what cruising is all about, breaking all those myths about cruising, that it's for old people only, it's boring, there's strict dress codes. With NCL, none of those things exist. Cruising is definitely the way the world is moving. And it just makes so much sense to do a cruise than to do any other kind of holiday because of all the value that's included on a cruise holiday. I hope you enjoyed that and that we are now comfortable with selling an NCL cruise. This has been recorded and I will share it with all of you to share with your colleagues if they haven't made it. But I will also make sure that I share as much tools with you as possible so that you can, of course, sell cruising. And like I said, this is our first one, so I'm sure that we'll have many more to come. So all the best with selling your cruises. Someone's just asked here, how safe is cruising? So I'm not sure in what context, but just in general, to give you a little bit of an idea of general safety, like health safety. We were the hardest hit industry during COVID. And we've made obviously a lot of adjustments and amendments to our ships. So we have something what we call deep cleaning, where we make sure our ships are deep cleaned regularly. We have a onboard safety officer. We have HEPA filters throughout all our staterooms. So as far as cleanliness and health-wise, we are very safe. As far as obviously ocean safety, the technology and modern day cruising just makes it a completely safe option. I have cruised, sure, maybe 50 to 60 times on many different cruise products, including Norwegian Cruise Line. And as far as cruise ocean safety with technology, it is extremely safe. And then even on board the ships, there's police stations on board our ships. We have security officers all the time. As far as guests coming onto and off the ships, there's massive, massive protocols that they have to follow. So general overall cruise safety, 100%, it's extremely safe. I hope that kind of answered your question where you asked how safe is it? I don't really face any challenges. Someone's asked, do we face any challenges? Currently, no. I think right now with the situation in the world, that's our biggest challenge, and that's maybe affecting flights. Our cruises are still going ahead as planned. What we do, and we do it really, really well, like I said in the beginning, is if there's any political unrest or any situation where our guests will not be safe, whether it's weather or political unrest, we will make sure that we are we cancel that specific port, we reroute our guests if we possibly can. But if it's something that we have to cancel the full cruise, we make sure that our guests are actually covered. If we cancel, we'll make sure that we refund our guests. So obviously, if the guest cancels and the cruise is still going ahead, then it's up to the guest to make their insurance claims and that type of thing. As far as visas, it's the country that you're visiting. So if Kenyans need visas for those specific countries, make sure that you contact the embassies to cover visas. We do have a visa page on our website, which is ncl.com, and it does give you information on the different types of cities that we visit. Sometimes there is a visa that's covered by the ship, or that the ship can arrange, but 99% for our passports, we need visas, South Africans and Africans. So yeah, just always check with the visas. Someone's asked, it's the private island charge. No, there's no charge to go onto the island, but there are certain facilities that will maybe come with a surcharge, like if it's a certain water sport or spa treatments and that type of thing. I hope that covers those questions. In case of any operational or mechanical problems, we've got the safety officers on board, we've got the engineers on board. So if there is anything, then we will dock the ship and make arrangements for that. Touch wood, I haven't had any in my last 23 years of being in the cruising industry. So yeah, that I mean, it does obviously happen. It's any kind of moving vessel would need that type of backup, but we're really good with stuff like that. And then where can you make bookings? So I'm going to share the details after this webinar now, with who to contact, with the White Star Cruise and Travels details, with our contact details, with the links to register for our newsletters. I'll share that with you so that you are getting our newsletters. You also get the KATA newsletters. Anything that you need to know, I'm going to share with you after this. So don't worry, you'll have access to all of that. Someone's asked about seasonality. So obviously in peak seasons, we sail in the summer months. We only sail in the summer months. So depending on which city we're going, in Europe, it's the European summer months. In Asia, summer months. So we only follow the sun. And yes, obviously in peak seasons, prices are slightly higher. Off-season prices are slightly cheaper. However, we always start off with a very low entry point. So my suggestion is always book far out. And for our markets, that really works as well. But I'm going to give you guys all these tools. There's so many questions. We can go on more and more and more. We can reach out to each other after this. And there'll be another webinar where I'll maybe go into the groups program and explain how advantageous the groups program is for your market and how good it works in your market as well. So yeah, I know you have a lot of questions. We're kind of out of time now, but I'm super excited about working with the Kenyan industry, and I think that we can definitely grow the market together. We have seen a 86% growth year on year from 2024 to this year from the Kenyan industry. So if you are not promoting cruise or you're not selling cruise, you are certainly missing out, because your colleagues are doing it and they are making a fair amount of commission selling a cruise holiday, because the revenue stream on a cruise holiday is so much better. I'm going to leave it as this now. I know that there's a lot of questions, but let's catch up again. Drop me an email if you have anything, and thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. And I will share everything, like I've said. Shout out if you need anything. And here's to growing the Kenyan cruise market together. I'm hoping to come to the AGM. I think it's at the end of April. And if I do, hopefully I get to meet you all face to face. But looking forward to catching up and growing this market with you. Take care, everyone. Thank you.